Staten Island's St. Patrick Parade marches back from COVID absence. Hundreds of spectators clad in green, many waving rainbow flags, lined the street and packed local bars as the parade stepped off. Drums and bagpipes, as always, were prominent throughout the parade Sunday. Although it will be a day of celebration, it is also a day of disappointment and exclusion, said Carol Bullock, Executive Director of the Pride Center of Staten Island. They called on city officials to halt public funding allotted for city workers to man the event until LGBTQ plus groups are allowed to march in the parade. Issuing a permit to an organization that has consistently discriminated against LGBTQ plus groups is unacceptable. Many parade attendees along the route waved rainbow flags, while multiple businesses placed signs in the windows that read, "Love has no gender," and "I stand for inclusion."
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Staten Island, LGBTQ. I was raised on corned beef and cabbage, the teachings of the Catholic Church. I went to Sunday school before kindergarten, attended CCD in high school, Sunday Mass was a non-negotiable, and I participated in youth group for 10 years, where I learned to spread love in my community. Being gay changed nothing about my Catholic upbringing and Irish heritage, and I was taught to love thy neighbor. This year, once again, the Pride Center of Staten Island, NYPD Goal, and FDNY Fire Flag were all denied marching in today's parade. Discrimination against LGBTQ plus groups only furthers hate in our community. The Ancient Order of Hibernians was founded to combat hatred towards the Irish Catholic community, and their organizers' actions flies in the face of the principles of the tenets of the Catholic Church. We are here today to call upon the City of New York to stop the use of public funds for the Staten Island St. Patrick's Day Parade until the organizers stop discriminating against LGBTQ plus groups. While we believe in everyone's First Amendment right to throw a party, that does not guarantee you the use of public funds, especially for an event that explicitly and systematically discriminates against groups of people based on their identity. For the past 12 years, we have approached this issue with relentless empathy. We apply for the march knowing the organizers will disrespectfully refuse to even accept our application. We are trying to have discussions with the organizers knowing they will not listen to us or see our humanity. And never once have we called for a boycott or direct action, promoting only love and queer visibility on St. Patrick's Day. While you walk up and down Forest Avenue today, you will see tons of signs reminding us that Forest Avenue businesses stand for inclusion and that we are welcomed here. Patronize those businesses today. It is worth noting that this is the biggest day of the year for many of these businesses on Staten Island, and the organizers' actions are hurting our small businesses, because when you look around today, less people are marching. Less people are coming to this parade because of the organizers' actions discriminating against the LGBTQ community. Many community leaders have approached the parade organizers, including members of the Ancient Hibernians and faith leaders, trying to reason with them about why the Pride Centers and other groups should be allowed to march. It is far beyond time that a group of small-minded men stop having power over one of our biggest cultural events on Staten Island. And if these men will not step aside, then it is time for New York City to stop giving public dollars to this parade, because in reality, our tax dollars pay for NYPD to be here. Our tax dollars pay for these streets to be paved and these sidewalks to be paved, and our tax dollars should not be used to discriminate.
That's right.
They are hurting our community and making more and more groups step aside and not march in the parade in solidarity with the LGBTQ community. It is important that we do so. We cannot allow bigotry and hatred to fester in our community because it has rippling effects that are devastating for queer people. This is about undoing the homophobia of the past and making sure LGBTQ Staten Islanders know they are welcomed in all spaces. do not feel defeated today, because look around you. We are winning this argument, and the discrimination has united us behind the We have been given the opportunity to show love for our queer neighbors. As my good friend Brendan Fay, a key organizer in the fight to get LGBT groups to march on the Manhattan St. Patrick's Day Parade, reminded me last night, out of opposition rises energy, activism, and friendship. We are united in our love for queer Staten Islanders, and we will not allow the hatred of a few small-minded people to take away our peace and dignity. All right. Now I would like to introduce Carol Bullock, the Executive Director of the Staten Island Pride Center.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carol Bullock. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm the Executive Director of the Pride Center of Staten Island. I'd like to thank the elected officials, community members, organizations, businesses, and individuals who stand in support with us today. Today should be a day of celebration, but instead, it's actually one of sadness, frustration, and disappointment. Once again, we were denied the opportunity to march in today's parade. The parade committee discriminates against and excludes LGBTQ plus groups from marching because according to them, we violate the Catholic religion. According to them, you can't be Irish, Catholic, and a member of the LGBTQ community. By the City of New York allowing police, fire departments, and other city organizations to march in the parade, they are potentially violating the Constitution in that they are endorsing a religion.
That's right.
This discrimination sends a profoundly toxic message to each and every LGBTQ individual, especially our youth. Today, members of Goal and Fire Flag, who are members of the FDNY and NYPD, were also denied the opportunity to march in this parade. Their colleagues right now are in Queens marching in the St. Pat's for All parade. The LGBT community is permitted to march in Dublin, in Boston, in Manhattan. Why not Staten Island?
That's right.
My hope is that the city seriously considers the funding and resources used for a parade that discriminates. But more importantly, our hope is for Staten Island to have an exclusive parade and allow the Pride Center of Staten Island, LGBTQ plus individuals and allies to celebrate and march. Thank you very much.
Next we have NYPD's Goal, that's the Gay Officers Action League, corresponding secretary Joyce Garrison here to speak.
Hi. Well, the Gay Officers Action League was founded by Sergeant Charles Cochran in 1982 with the mission of building a bridge between the profession and the community at large. 40 years later, goal remains the same. We're dedicated to create a community that advocates for acceptance and equality for those in law enforcement who identify as LGBTQ. Across the world, state and non-state entities are designing and implementing ways to promote social inclusion of LGBTQ people. Some states have passed regulations explicitly protecting LGBTQ people from being excluded and discriminated against, including New York. Our exclusion, our straight-out application rejection from the Staten Island St. Patrick's Day Committee is disheartening and goes against all that we are trying to accomplish and against the regulations that we have put in place. This is proof that there's still a lot of work to do. The Gay Officers Action League will continue our mission of bringing change and building bridges between Goal and the communities at large. And we're praying that one day we will be able to be included in the Staten Island St. Patrick's Day Parade. Thank you.
Next, we have New York City Comptroller Brad Lander to speak for us. Thanks so much.
Well, what an honor it is to be out with this really proud set of Staten Islanders this morning. I'm New York City Controller Brad Lander. I actually walked Forest Avenue with the Forest Avenue Business Improvement District just a couple of weeks ago. Got to talk to a lot of the small business owners about how much they love this community and love Staten Island and love their heritage and want to be living in and working in a community where everybody is included. It really seems to me that the challenge of our times, when you look all around the world, is how do we love our people, our heritage, our traditions, and at the same time open up to embrace people in all the glorious and beautiful ways. And I have to say that the way in which the LGBTQ community has opened all our communities up to being able to see people for who they are, let them lead free and full lives, while of course loving and embracing and wrestling and grappling with our own traditions. It's one of the most beautiful things we've all gotten an opportunity to do. And it's not always easy, you know, it involves challenging conversations amongst family members. It's not easy to let go of certain elements of our tradition that have been the same way for hundreds or maybe thousands of years. And yet it is a beautiful opportunity. And not only is nothing given up about who you are, something just extraordinarily beautiful is gained. And I say that as a Jewish New Yorker, married to an Irish New Yorker, who just loves being able to raise our kids in this incredibly diverse and beautiful city, loving and learning about their history and their traditions, and then being able to become free and full human beings and embrace everybody around them. So this isn't just a kind of let us in. This is, we will all be so much happier and more free and full on the other side when our Irish traditions and our LGBTQ selves are able to walk this beautiful avenue together in this parade. So I want to say thank you for the gift of this organizing that you're doing. You're building and making this a more inclusive and beautiful and dynamic city, holding on to what people love about Staten Island and their neighborhoods and their Irish heritage. And I can't wait to come back when this is an inclusive parade. I will tell you that 5 years ago, I did not march in the Brooklyn St. Patrick's Day parade because it was not inclusive, and what a joy it is to be able to march right just a few blocks from my home in a Brooklyn St. Patrick's Day parade that is now welcoming and inclusive for all. Not one thing has been lost, and so very much has been gained. And finally, all right, let's hear it for that. Tom McMahon is here. I want to shout him out because he helped make that parade inclusive along with Bobby Carroll, whose grandfather founded that, was one of the people that founded that parade, and Bobby helped make sure it is now inclusive. Finally, as you guys are saying, New York City has one of the best local human rights laws in the country. And it is so clear that you cannot discriminate against people in housing, in employment, or in public accommodations. And of course, that means you can't be discriminated against because you're Irish in housing or employment or public accommodations, and you can't be discriminated against if you're Jewish or if you're black. But boy, you cannot be discriminated against if you're lesbian or gay or bisexual or transgender or non-binary. And that means we should not be using the tax dollars of the city of New York, which I can tell you as controller, to provide public accommodation for an event which discriminates. So thank you for leading the way.
I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge some of the other citywide leaders that have stood with us for this. We have the support of Senator Kristin Gillibrand. We have the support of public advocate Jumani Williams. We have the support of City Councilwoman Lynn Shulman. And we have the support of City Councilwoman and LGBTQ plus caucus chair Crystal Hudson. All right, and our last speaker today is going to be my good friend Zolma Cruz to tell us why her Catholic faith loves all of her LGBTQ neighbors.
Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day to all. My name is Zolma Cruz. I'm an advocate, a community activist. I am a Catholic, a practicing Catholic, and I'm an ally. For over 30 years, my family and I have looked forward to walking this parade. Our children have walked the parade, I have walked the parade. But that sentiment has changed in the past couple of years when my family and friends of the LGBTQ plus community haven't been able to march in the parade under their banner. As an advocate, I am frustrated at the lack of social justice and inequity of this parade. As a practicing Catholic, that saddens me that a few people choose to hide behind the Catholic Church to show the homophobia and their biases.
Yes.
I want to end briefly by saying and speaking directly to the organizers of this parade. You are in a very unique position to show equity and to say to the youth of Staten Island, especially our gay youth, that we as adults make mistakes, but we can move forward and we can grow.
Yes.
And you have time. The parade hasn't started. Be an agent of change. Let the LGBTQ parade happen. I'm sorry, not parade. Let them march under the banner. I look forward to the day when I, as an advocate for over 30 years, could walk alongside my brothers and sisters. May God bless you and have a great St. Patrick's Day parade.
We really quickly are going to have a proclamation from Governor Kathy Hochul.
So this is behalf on Governor Kathy Hochul. It's given in proclamation of St. Patrick's Day, and here is the real celebration for St. Patrick's Day. Thank you very much.
One more time for the Staten Island LGBTQ plus community.